Thank you, Mr. Chairman. After more than a year of arbitrary government regulation, Americans are finally getting some of their freedoms back. Just a few weeks ago, the CDC started to follow the science and admit to the public that there is no need for those who have been vaccinated to continue wearing masks. Public officials across the nation are finally beginning to allow businesses to reopen and children to get back to school. These actions should have been taken months ago and are only the first step as we begin to try to heal our nation and the economy from government's unnecessary intervention in our day-to-day lives. As inflation rises to the highest level since the Great Recession, it appears that we are starting to realize the cost of rampant government spending. I've heard it from many small businesses who are having trouble filling positions and experiencing exorbitant increases in the cost of materials. Earlier this month, I held a roundtable with Kentucky small business owners from a number of different industries. The message was clear. Economic lockdowns, the closures of our schools, and rehiring workers are the greatest challenges that small businesses face today. Mr. Chairman, I ask for the unanimous consent to submit the transcript of the roundtable into the record today.
Without objection, it will be included in the record.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, the federal government has spent $4.2 trillion on COVID-19 relief. Small Business Administration has been authorized to spend just under $1 trillion, making it one of the largest spenders in the COVID economy, second only to the Department of Treasury. Unfortunately, Treasury Secretary Yellen is not here today to answer for her department's use of those funds. Despite being required by law, I repeat that, required by law in a bill that was passed overwhelmingly to be here, she is not here today. Earlier this month, I sent Secretary Yellen a letter reminding her of that obligation, yet I have received no reply. Mr. Chairman, I ask consent to submit that letter for the record, along with a list of the public events Secretary Yellen has recently chosen to participate in instead of coming to this committee.
Without objection, it will be included in the record.
I also hope you will join me in calling on her to testify, including voting on a subpoena if necessary. Now I'd like to welcome Administrator Guzman. A few months ago at your nomination hearing, I supported your nomination in good faith with the expectation that you would be responsive and cooperative as the committee fulfills its oversight responsibilities. Unfortunately, this has not been the case. Since March, I've sent 5 letters requesting data and information necessary for the committee to conduct adequate oversight over the SBA's COVID-19 programs. To date, we have received only 2 responses, which fail to provide the complete information we've requested. The question we have at hand is whether or not groups in our country are receiving money illegally against the policy of the Small Business Administration. We have these questions on legality, and you are stonewalling us. This is money that's being given to the Planned Parenthood organization. We found at least 6 different loans that have been given. Among the letters that we sent were multiple requests for specific information about PPP loans, illegally made to Planned Parenthood affiliates. Since you've been confirmed, we found that at least 6 additional PPP loans have been made to Planned Parenthood for $17.6 million. This money is all in contravention to the SBA policy that it's illegal to give money to Planned Parenthood. In the previous administration, they made a ruling that Planned Parenthood wasn't eligible and Planned Parenthood was directed to send the money back. But this administration is continuing to send money to an organization that the previous administration set a policy that was consistent with a long-standing policy on affiliates getting funds. When your deputy was here the last time, we asked him, have you changed the policy? He says, no, the policy's still the same. And yet we can't get any explanation from you. We've given you the questions in advance. These loans were approved in defiance of the law, not in accordance with the law, and are just one of the many glaring issues with Small Business Administration programs. But unfortunately, we cannot be sure due to the continued failure on your part to be transparent and provide the committee with the information we need to do our job. I look forward to hearing your testimony, and I'm hopeful that we can find answers to our numerous outstanding questions.
Thank you, Senator Paul.